Hi, Eric. How are you today?
Fine, how are you?
Hey, I'd just like to recap of what we talked about last session. That's okay. So we talked about that you came in and you stated that your wife said that you either come in or she was going to get a divorce. There was an incident that it was your wife's sister's wedding, and that it was on a Saturday in the evening. You had woken up that morning, it was a beautiful day, and decided to go golfing with your buddies. You had a great game, and while you were golfing, you guys decided, after golfing, you guys decided to go to the bar and have a beer. You had told your buddies that you were going to go have one because of the wedding later, but after everybody started ordering pitchers, you wound up drinking more than you intended, and missing the wedding. You came home, and your wife was really upset and embarrassed and frustrated, and you were feeling upset about it too, and you want to tell me more about? Did I catch everything in that?
Yeah. I felt pretty ashamed.
So you were pretty ashamed about what had happened. Okay. Has there ever been another incident where your wife has been concerned about your drinking?
Yeah, about 6 months ago, it was summer, and we typically have a date night every Friday night, and we usually plan some event on Friday nights, and so usually I come home after work, and then we end up going out on a date.
So it sounds like you said that every Friday night you have a date night. So this is something that sounds important to you and your wife.
Yeah, it's pretty important to both of us. We agreed to do this date night thing to, add some regular fun in our relationship, and both of us, I anticipated every week. I look forward to it.
So every week you and your wife go on a date night. It's important to both of you because it helps you guys create a stronger relationship. Okay, so can you tell me about this specific date night that you're talking about?
Well, like I said earlier, it was summer, and I was on my way home from work. I'd gotten off work. It was really hot, and so I got this impulse to stop by the bar and have an ice-cold beer.
So on your way home from work, you stopped by the bar to have a beer.
And I went in there and ordered a beer, and then somebody I know from work who I get along with came in, and we started playing darts, and we ordered another couple cold beers. And the next thing you know, we're having a great time, and he says, so let's just have, he likes drinking tequila, so he's like, well, let's just have some tequila, let's drink some tequila. And I was feeling apprehensive about it because, I realized I had to get home. I told him, I'm a bit apprehensive. I don't really think I should be drinking tequila because I have a day with my wife tonight.
So you were at the bar having a beer, a coworker comes in and you guys had a couple beers together, but then he likes tequila, so you guys started ordering tequila shots. At this time you started feeling apprehensive about it because you knew you had this date night, and that was important to you because you do this every weekend with your wife, and it brings you guys close together. So now can you tell me what has happened, what happens next?
Well, at this point, the next thing, so I agreed to drink some tequila with him, and we're just having, a blast. We're just having a great time, and next thing you know, we've got tequila glasses lined on the bar, and the bartender's just like, blow! He's just like pouring the thing all the way down. He's filling up all these shot glasses, and we're like, bam, bam, bam. We're just like going to town.
So you are at the bar, you're drinking tequila shots, you're bamming them back, you're having an awesome time. You are just having a great time.
Not a care in the world.
Not a care in the world. Just having a fun time, spamming those tequila shots.
I was bam, 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 bam.
Bam, 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 bam.
We'd look at each other just like, what? You know,
Okay.
that macho thing. You know, we were like, but we were having a good time, and
So you were having a great time at this time.
I was feeling no pain, to say the least.
So you were pretty happy.
I was bubbly happy.
You were probably happy. Okay, so can you kind of tell me what happens next?
Well, you know, after a while, I became wasted. I was like completely wasted and plastered.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me what wasted means to you?
Well, what it mean? I don't know what it means to me, but I know it ends up affecting other people. You know, like, for example, I'd be like sitting on the bar stool, and I attempt to sit on the bar stool. I'd be falling off and spilling drinks all over the place, getting all belligerent, and cussing at people, making people uncomfortable in the bar.
So wasted is...
Completely unlike me.
So wasted means that you're not being able to sit on the bar stool, spilling drinks, getting belligerent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're belligerent, you're wasted, what's going on, what's happening next?
Well, the next thing you know, the bartender, how dare he? No, he cut me off. He's like, I think you've had too much to drink.
So what specifically did the bartender say again?
He said, I think you've had too much to drink. I can't serve you anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the bartender cuts you off, and then what happens?
Well, I'd like to say I slugged him, but that didn't happen. Okay. Then he's like, towards the end of the night, by this time I've forgotten all about date night, and, he says, look, I think I'm going to call you a cab. You're too drunk to drive home.
Okay, so the bartender calls you a cab. And what happens when you get home? Is your wife there?
Yeah, she's up reading a book.
She's up reading a book. What specifically did your wife say when you walked in the door to you?
Hi.
Hi? No,
she said she was furious, and she's just shaking her head, and she said, I can see that you don't care about our relationship very much. We agreed to this date night, and you don't care about me or our relationship, Obviously, you don't have any control over your drinking, and you're a drunk, and, and where's the car,
Mm-hmm. So your wife was pretty upset that you came home drunk.
Yeah, she was furious, and I felt really ashamed when I got home.
So so you were feeling ashamed about coming home drunk and missing your date night and getting your wife upset.
And I felt embarrassed about having to get a cab home. And
you were feeling embarrassed about getting a cab home because, like we said, date night is really important to you and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what, did your wife specifically say anything else after this time?
She said, I think we need to do a trial separation. I don't have much, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Mm-hmm. And I pleaded with her. I was like, at this point, I was fearful that she was going to leave me for good. And because I love her very much. We've been together a long time, about 7 years or whatever. So I was like, I pleaded with her, look, I promise I'll never drink again. Just give me another chance,
Mm-hmm.
And so she agreed to stay.
So you were really fearful that your wife was going to leave because she said that she was thinking about a separation at this time, and you pleaded with her that you would never drink again.
I did.
Okay, so let me kind of summarize what that event looked like. So you were coming home from work. You knew you had date night. You stopped off at the bar to have one drink. That was your intention. But a coworker showed up. You had a couple beers, wound up having then tequila shots, drank way more than you intended. The bartender called you a cab home because you were too wasted to drive.
Right.
You got home, your wife was really upset with you and said that she was going to leave you. You were feeling really ashamed and embarrassed and upset about this, and so you pleaded to her that not to leave and that you would never drink again. And that, this was it. You were done drinking. Which brings us to why you initially came in was because that you had another incident that caused your wife to then say she was looking for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just kind of summarize what we've talked about in the last couple of sessions so I have it correct. There was a incident where you were at the bar
Mm-hmm.
and you drank more than you intended. You got home and your wife said that she was going to leave you because you came home drunk. You had pleaded with her
Mm-hmm.
to stay and that you were never going to drink again. You were really upset and you were frustrated about what had happened about missing date night.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happened a couple weeks ago was that there was a family wedding. You knew it was really important to your wife, and you value that relationship. You went golfing instead. You went golfing in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and afterwards went to the bar to celebrate how well you did. You then pictures started being passed around. You wound up drinking more than you intended to, and missing the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You then got home, and your wife was feeling really upset. You were ashamed and embarrassed about the situation, and your wife said she was going to divorce you, and if you didn't come into our treatment center today to talk to one of us. So now, in spite of your efforts to stop drinking, you are now concerned at this point that your relationship with your wife is in jeopardy, and you value that relationship greatly because you love your wife, and you're here today because you want to get help. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks, Eric, for sharing with me today.
Thank you.